Alrighty, we're back. What is this day? Saturday, right? Saturday in the week. So we're putting a wrap on the streams for this week. And honestly, if anybody is watching this on YouTube, I would very much appreciate if you have any tips or anything to help me improve the stream, or maybe something that I probably didn't notice. I am aware of some quality issues that could be improved. I'm not super worried about them now, like the absolute quality of the videos and audio quality, because I've mentioned before I'm not really working with too much of the best gear, so I'm doing what I can. But anyways, if you still notice something that's like obviously wrong with the videos of the stream, please let me know. Yeah, that's about it. I would call it a success that I even got 2 weeks of content even out in the first place. But you know, I would appreciate it if you could help in any way. All right, let's continue. Let's upgrade our sentinels.
I do need beaver. Hevelius to beaver. There's a mere living that matter to me. Hevelius.
There we go.
I do need beaver.
Let's begin. Yesterday, in the YouTube context, it's like 5 minutes ago for me, I was just talking about a possible new job opportunity for me, which would be great because I am broke, and of course, doing any hobby, as you might know, would be quite expensive to do. Like pretty much any hobby is pretty expensive. But music and streaming, I think, are some of the more expensive ones out there. Besides maybe like buying boats or something like that. And when I say music, I'm talking like, you can see these guitars back here. I have a bass and a guitar that I play mostly, and I have some recording equipment to my left on this side. So I would hopefully invest in that stuff and some digital audio stuff, you know, plugins and new software and all that good stuff. If you know about music stuff, you know. And with streaming, of course, I've talked about it a little bit, but I want, you know, I want to treat my room acoustically, a new microphone, probably a new mouse. I feel like after using this mouse for so long, casually, I feel like it's a bit different using it to stream and like beyond the game for multiple hours at a time. I do other work with my mouse as well, so I just want something that's comfortable for my hand. I could keep going, I guess. You know, hardware for my laptop and all that stuff. Of course, it costs a lot of money, so you know, the idea would be to, like I mentioned before, get some extra money, start saving up for new gear and all that. I would say I would, you know, want to move out of my parents' place as well, but you know how much that can cost. What is this? Deal purification to any target where X is the level of Sentinels summed and multiplied by 1. Yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, I mean, I would like to move out eventually. But they kind of need some help, I would say. You know, all of us in the house need to pitch in to the rent, to the bills. And of course, if I move out, I'm going to be moving out alone. I don't have any roommates to move in with. And living by yourself in California is like prohibitively expensive. So moving out is I would say it's more of a pipe dream than anything. It would definitely take me multiple years to save up for even an apartment, a small apartment. They might say, why not just find some roommates to move in with? And that is because I've had multiple bad experiences with roommates. I've had like one good experience, I would say. Excuse me, I'm trying to play my dice here. I've had one good experience. All the other ones were pretty mediocre at best and bad at worst. During college, my freshman year was the first year that I, lived with somebody else, and it was fun to do that. It was cool to have somebody in my room to talk to, and ask for stuff if I need it. But we didn't really see each other that often, and I'm pretty sure he didn't really like me at all. So that wasn't too fun. But, that being said, it wasn't the worst thing ever. Like I said, we didn't really see each other that much, so we didn't really get in each other's ways or anything like that. And then after that was actually when COVID hit for the first time that March. I had started college the previous September. So I was still in the middle of my freshman year when that all happened. And I don't know, it was just not fun. I started living by myself because they started sending most people home, for obvious reasons. And they said, if you want to stay, you can stay. But we're going to have to move you to a single room. And of course, you're going to have to take all your classes online. Which I did, which was fine, I guess, on its own. But I got used to living by myself. So the moment I moved back home, it was just a bit jarring. So I spent the rest of that year living by myself in school. And I moved back home for the school year of 2020. And then, I moved back to school after that. Everyone started going back to school once COVID died down and everything in 2021. And then I moved in with another new roommate who I didn't know, and he was actually fine. We got along, and what I'm gonna say is gonna sound rude, but we stayed out of each other's way, I guess. I don't mean it like we didn't like each other and we stayed out of each other's way. I just mean, I don't know, we didn't fight, I guess. Nothing really went wrong. So that was fine. And then the year after that was actually pretty bad for me. So I spent a whole year with that guy that wasn't that bad. And then I spent another whole year for 2022, I believe, school year 2022. I lived with 3 other guys. There were 2 bedrooms, so each of us shared a room with another guy. There was 1 bathroom between all of us, which was horrible. And we lived on the bottom floor, so we had upstairs neighbors, kind of making noise all the time. Like I said, we all shared 1 shower, so anytime any of us had... Oh, what is this? Oh, this is a Forge event? Obviously, give me this. Thank you. Obviously, we had to, you know, wait for each other to use the showers for the bathroom. And the apartment itself was a pretty cheap one for the area that we were in. So, you know, the quality, I would say, of the rooms were just not great. The air conditioner kind of barely worked. The shower would always make way too much steam and like kind of flood. Not flood, but like it would kind of fill up the tub a bit too much for comfort. And it was just generally not a good time. So I spent a year in that situation, and I don't know, it just wasn't fun. And then finally, spent about half a school year in my next apartment, which was better than the last one for sure. I was living in my own room, so I didn't have to share, you know, the space with somebody else, which I do prefer. I prefer living alone, that is. So yeah, I lived alone for the most part. And the way that the apartment was set up was actually kind of like a big condo. So, whenever anybody would kind of do anything, nobody else could really hear it, at least not where I was. Because I was on the very bottom floor, and there was a space in the middle for like the living room and the kitchen. And then all the other rooms were on the top floor. So, you know, now that I think about it, I mean, maybe they didn't have as good of an experience as me, but I couldn't really hear anything they were doing. I'm sure they couldn't really hear me all that much, or at least they didn't complain that much. So that wasn't so bad, but where the bad experience comes in, I think, would be pretty much anything else regarding, like, paying bills, and finding parking, and commuting to school, and all that stuff. All that wasn't really that great. I had my car and everything, and I could drive back and forth, and the drive itself was only about 20 minutes, so that was fine. But, of course, you know, if you're paying to be on campus, especially as somebody who's not living on campus, you have to pay for parking. You gotta, you know, pay for, like, one specific parking area. So you can't park anywhere else, even if your classes are, like, right there where you need them to be. I still had to work, so I still had to, you know, go to the school pretty often, so I had to pay for parking pretty often when I didn't really have to, or I would rather not, I should say. And then when I would park at my apartment, it would just not have parking available. There were like limited spots, limited street parking. My other roommates already took the garage spot, so I couldn't park in the garage. So I've been towed like multiple times, of course costing a lot of money. And what am I trying to say here? I would just get towed a bunch and not find parking and have to kind of circle around for a while before finding a spot that might not give me towed. And then of course I'd have to, plan my whole schedule around when I would leave and come back, or else I would just not find a parking spot. So even though, I would prefer to live on my own and not with my parents, my family, kind of going back to school and living there isn't really an option, I would say, right now, because there's just a lot that goes into it. And if I move out right now, of course I'm going to have to, do school, which is going to be like the whole thing. And then find a spot that is good for me to be in. And then, of course, I'd have to pass all my classes, which I which I said is going to be a whole thing. Yeah. I saw that 30 in there. Let me try to re-roll that. Again. Oh. Alright, well, let's do it again. So yeah, it's just a lot of kind of moving pieces that I need to worry about at some point, but I just don't know when. And if it wasn't clear, after that last apartment that I just described, I had to move back home because of both housing and academic reasons. There's some dumb stuff that was happening with the landlord of that condo. So they were telling me, oh, you either have to pay a second security deposit, which would have costed like, I don't know, like $2,000, which I didn't have at the time, or move back home, which I did, or find a new place to live out there, which of course I did not do. It would have been a lot to do that at the time, so I just didn't do it. And I was also failing my classes, so I just thought it was appropriate to just move back home and just say, okay, I'll come back eventually when I can pay off some debt. I can pay off some debt and get things sorted and all that stuff. But now that I'm kind of on my way to do that, there's been a lot of stuff happening, in the world. So, things have kind of changed within the last year. So yeah, here I am, trying to get a job and pay off my debt so I can go back to school, but not being able to find a job. I guess you could say, in a way, I've been kind of forced to pick up a bunch of hobbies and just kind of chip away at those until I can find a job, which is what I've been doing. But it gets to a point where it's like, I can only do so much with what I have. Like I said, what I do is prohibitively expensive to invest in, lest I sell my belongings, which I'm not going to do. So here I am, trying to get better at what I do, and also get a job, go to school, get my degree, you know, try to find a job in the real world, but even that is like, that's a whole nother can of worms that I don't want to open yet, so I'll get that when I get there. But it's just frustrating, you know? Alright. I kind of talked through that whole boss fight there, but we got it done. I don't really need any of these, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's get the additional die and then the stunned debuff. Prevents us from re-rolling, but that's only for 2 turns, so it's probably not too bad. It's looking like we've got about 10 minutes left. We can get through like 1 battle maybe, but we're gonna have to save the rest of this for next week. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Thank you. Alright, let's go ahead and try this battle. I'm not really feeling the challenge this time because I got kind of whooped last time I did that. So let's not do that. I got some new guys here though. Look pretty ominous. I'm digging it though. Some silence. What does that do? All your virtues are disabled to the end of the turn. After the first turn, you can't see their overcorruption meters. Alright. Oh, I can't reroll. That's right. You know, this has kind of inspired me to maybe get into what I am working on in my hobbies. I feel like I can only talk about that so much before I run out of stuff to talk about again. I guess it can't hurt to try. So I'll do that on Saturday, next time I stream. Pretty solid turn there. So yeah, Saturday, I guess I'll just talk about what I'm working on. It's not like a whole lot. I'm not like making a business or something. Like I'm not doing a whole production line type thing. It's not that serious. But it's, you know, it's still something I'm working on. And I want to finish it at some point. But essentially, without getting into the details, because like I said, we only have like the rest of this battle. That's it. I'm working on an album. I'm trying to write like a classical, minimalist classical album that I'm trying to work on right now. And I would like to also make video essays for YouTube, analyzing music, that kind of nerdy stuff like music theory and you know, form and analysis and all that stuff. But that is a lot of work that I did not expect before getting into it. Not to say that I want to give up, but it's just a lot of work that I didn't expect. So hopefully in the near future I would finish both of those and you know, just keep working on stuff, new stuff. But you know, it's just tough right now. I'll talk about that more on Saturday, but for now, thanks for watching. I appreciate you if you watch this whole stream on the VOD, or if you watch all the YouTube videos through all the cuts and stream drops and all that stuff and all that nerdy stuff. So yeah, I do appreciate it. Check out my other series if you haven't already. And I'll see you Saturday if you're watching on Twitch, and I'll see you tomorrow on YouTube. Yeah. Thanks for watching.